Welcome listeners and viewers to Lunsaran, an interactive online discussion that delves into internationalization, initiatives, programs, and projects by the college. I am 𝓟𝓸𝓀𝓮𝓻, Information Officer 1 and the International Relations and Promotions Officer. Last episode, we were graced by our beloved president, and we look into how internationalization has shaped DNSC from the past years, developing a culture of growth and collaboration for both domestic and international arenas. For our second episode, we will dive into the world of students, faculty and staff, mobility, and how it supported the endeavors and mission of the Internationalization Office. We will explore the impact of cultural exchange programs and know its benefits to our institution, as well as the challenges of mobilizing internationalization. Our special guest is no stranger to the Office of Internationalization. She is currently an instructor in the ILEG and the International Mobility Officer of the office for 3 years now. She recently represented the college in Malaysia for an international meeting with other partnered universities. Everyone, let us welcome Ms. 𝓟𝓸𝓫𝓲𝓵. Welcome to Lunsaran, Jade.
Thank you, Sir June.
So we will start this episode with by talking into how you got into the internationalization office. So can you give us a background of what happened?
So before I was in my exchange journey or international exchange student when I was still teaching here back in 2020. And then when I came back, I was invited by Mr. Daniel, the head of the international office, to be part of the international office and to be designated as the international mobility officer. And then I accepted that offer, and now I'm here.
And now you're here with us in this episode. Yes. And I think it's almost 3 years now that you've been the international mobility officer.
I think so.
Okay. So can you tell us the role of an international mobility officer in the internationalization of our state college?
Okay. So first, as an international mobility officer, is helping in crafting mobility programs, exchange programs, and cultural exchange, and even faculty exchange, crafting those programs, and support the international office in the implementations of those programs, and be responsible for management, development, and delivery of the college student, faculty, and mobility programs, including the provisions of services, support in inbound and outbound students. And also I will be advising our new organization, the Student Global Buddies. And I also advises and prepares both incoming and outgoing faculty and students. And right now I'm also preparing for more courses to be accredited by the by the Bureau of Immigration, to receive and to send more students and more courses. And also I will be providing the international office head, Mr. Daniel, regular performance reports and for the inbound and outbound mobility activities, and also perform related tasks to the international office.
Wow, that's quite a lot. Internationalization is really not that simple. If you look at how each person in the office, each designation works, you will really be astounded with how everything works. Like you, ma'am, no? With your role in the office. So can you describe or can you tell us about what the student buddies are?
So for the student buddies, we call them, some universities call them student ambassador. We call them student buddies just for us to make more friendly, or for our visitors to accept them as their buddy. So we call it student buddies. So every time they have other concerns, because we would like to nurture friendships among our students and the incoming and outbound students. So we would like to make them more comfortable here and giving them the buddies or their friends so that they can share and be more comfortable while staying here at the DNSC.
I see. They're more like the front line of the university.
Correct.
they engaged in conversation and as well as collaborations with other visitors here
Yes.
in our campus. Wow. So next question, ma'am, can you describe your experience in participating in a cultural exchange program as a faculty or staff, and how did it impact you personally and professionally?
Okay, so way back in my, I was one of the recipients of Erasmus Plus mobility scholarship back in Europe. So for me, I have a first-hand experience as a exchange student, and I want to make sure or to spread that experience or to give other students the experience that what I have gained during that mobility program. So to the question of the experience, I have a lot of classes, travels, and lots of activities in my trip or in that journey. And professionally, it nurtured me as a faculty as well, because I was able to publish my first international publication back in that journey. And also on cultural trips, I was back in June. That was in June of this year. So I had the opportunity to speak on the international arena with the help of ATU-NET network, and I was able to give them the glimpse of how DNSC's international office works, and how I also highlighted how we give support to our students, both for incoming and both for outgoing students.
Wow. I'd like to ask additional question for that. What were the countries that you already visited?
Okay, so so far I have traveled for 19 countries.
Wow.
And I'm planning to have more in the future.
Can you name some of the countries that you already you went to?
Can I say just maybe top?
What were your
top
top 3 countries?
Top 3, maybe Switzerland, Italy, and Czech Republic so far.
Why?
But I can include Indonesia on top of those because I have a lot of friends, Indonesian friends, and it makes the country more closer to me.
So I believe you already have a network of friends in different countries, and that's one wonderful thing about internationalization. You'll meet different kinds of people with different kinds of races, cultures, and backgrounds. So let's proceed to the next question. It's also related to cultural exchange programs and faculty exchange programs. Since you already mentioned quite a few experiences, so what was the most memorable cultural exchange experience that you participated with, and how did it broaden your horizons?
When you will be in an exchange program or cultural trips, there's a lot of stories to tell. So it's very overwhelming. But I could highlight the recent trip that I did in Jakarta. So I could say that the memorable experience is when I was invited to be included in the steering committee meeting for the ATU-NET, along with the heads of the other colleges and universities among the ATU-NET umbrella. And I was able to, I was elected also as the new secretary for the new SIG for mobility, for faculty, for staff mobility program. And we're also planning to have another program this year, by the end of this year. And another, I would say, a funny story. Is that okay if I
It's
share?
okay. It's totally okay.
So I'm used to some of the Indonesian cultures already, since I have a lot of Indonesian friends and co-scholars before. So I am not new to their culture, to their food, since they're preparing for us way before. And one thing that I can share, it's some sort of funny, because on my first day on that trip, so we had a steering committee meeting, and they prepared us a grand lunch. So there's a lot of chairs there, and there's only one table for the food. So there's the food on the table, just on the center, and there's a bunch of chairs all over that table. And I was wondering, because here in the Philippines, we eat with tables on our own.
Yes.
And there's a separate table for the food. So I was still waiting there. Maybe they're not just prepared because there's only one table and there's a bunch of chairs. Maybe they're just still preparing or what. So they start eating, and then they're eating there on the table, on the chair, not with a table. So it's very new to me. It's my first time knowing it, that some of the Indonesians don't eat with tables. They just eat it there at the chair.
Chair with the plate.
With
on
the
their
plate.
head and on their hand.
Yes, on their hands.
Oh, I see. So if you go abroad, if you go to another country, you should really be culturally sensitive and culturally be aware, or else you'll have that experience. But I think for you, that experience is really one of a kind. It's one to tell, a story to tell to others, and that's kind of funny. When you talk about your experience in Malaysia, it's really different in the Philippines. We eat in a table, so that's one thing to remember when we go outside of the country. We should really be aware of the culture. So aside from that, ma'am, we go back to the role, your role as an international mobility officer. So what are the greatest challenges, or what were the greatest challenges of being an international mobility officer?
So first of all, I would like to highlight being an international mobility officer is both fun and rewarding. So the greatest challenge that I could think of right now here in our office is we know this is just the four of us. Previously, there's just three of us, and there's a lot of activities going on. There's a lot of in and out visitors or delegates, and so I would like to also share the one that we experienced way back in February of this year. We're still 3 and we're having 2 big universities coming in at the same week, and so we really need to make preparations ahead of time, and we have to make it as detailed as possible. So who will be assigned to this, who will be assigned to that. I believe with Sir Earl and Sir Daniel, we're making sure that everything is in place before the delegates coming in. So that's the greatest challenge that we have. But right now, we're hoping with you, sir, coming here at the office, it's like it's lessening the burden or lessening the assignments, because we can delegate more tasks right now since we're already 4 personnel in the office. So that's the greatest challenge before. Right now, in the coming years, I think the challenge would be creating more network, creating more activities, and for us in the mobility is to have more programs and more opportunities that we can give to our students and be able to send more students abroad.
I heard also that other universities, international universities, they have like hundreds, or they have a lot of faculty or staff in the Office of the Internationalization. While here in the DNSC, there's only 4 of us, but we will ensure that internationalization will continue and will strive further in the DNSC. So let's go to the next question, ma'am. So what steps do you take to ensure the safety and well-being of students and staff who participate in international mobility programs? And how do you mitigate potential risks and challenges, especially for those who are first-timers in going abroad or international?
So previously, in December of 2022, we had a lot of, it's a huge delegation, a lot of students and faculties coming from 𝓪𝓬𝓀, Indonesia. So we are making sure that they are safe here in the Philippines, since there's a lot of students, right, and lots of faculty. So we are encouraging them to use this hostel, DNSC's hostel, for them to stay during their whole activities here in the Philippines, so that we can really give them the security that they need, since it's inside the campus. And we're also, if we have activities, if we have cultural trips outside of the campus, so we have our own vehicle, our DNSC's bus, for them to, for us to give them a transport from one place to another and making sure that they are safe.
So it really entails a lot of preparation.
Yes.
No? And every time we have a visitor, we make sure that there's somebody in the office or from the university, from the college, that would stay with them in that particular activity. So you shared a while ago that you went to in Malaysia or Indonesia?
Indonesia.
Indonesia for the International Staff Week, and that was in the Asia Technological Network, or the ATU-NET. They were the one who conducted that particular activity, right? So can you share about how you prepared for that trip?
So this preparation is different from other trips that I have, since I will be representing DNSC. So actually, I was anxious maybe 3 days before or 4 days before my
Why?
flight, because I have to prepare everything in place, and I have to make sure that I will arrive there safe also. So I also need to prepare for my presentation, since I will be one of the presenters there, sharing the good practices of our international office. So it's a great pressure for me. And so in preparation, I also need to be presentable there. So I need to have, I need to buy, I need to buy my
Clothes,
own
dress.
OOTDs. Okay, so I also need to make sure that when I came back, I have my deliverables, or I have the maybe I can bring home more collaborations, which is right now we about to implement this year. So I have to make sure of that, and also for myself, I have to make it. I prepared myself few days before my flight, so I put everything in place, and that's it.
Did you travel alone? Going to
Yes, that is my. By the way, that is my first time traveling abroad. So I have traveled abroad with friends and with my co-scholars before, but this is my first time traveling in an international flight alone. So it's very challenging.
So what was the trip? What were the positive highlights of the trip in ATU-NET?
So the positive, I would say, is that the DNSC was recognized as being the new secretary for the new SIG. And also, second is the highlight that I was able to share our good experiences. And then after that, we have a small talks, or after that presentation, there's a lot of other universities that are interested in DNSC and collaborations. So that's another highlight, because after that, after that small talks there's a series of meetings. So it's a fruitful trip, since we will be having more activities here at our office.
So let's go to the role of you being the secretary.
Yes, for the new SIG for
SIG. So what's the role of a secretary in
So
ATU-NET?
first is I will be supporting the chair for this. So we only have chair and secretary per SIG. So we were assigned to be the secretary of the faculty mobility programs. So this year, we're still conducting a series of meetings for that. So we're still left with one more activity this year. So hopefully, it will be a fruitful activity for our faculty, and for our staff mobility. So hopefully, we can indulge in more of that this year.
Wow, that's a great opportunity for DNSC to also collaborate, participate, and cooperate in the internationalization globally and internationally. And just like what you said, Ma'am, no, I think that brought a lot of opportunity for DNSC, especially that we will invite some of the universities, and I believe some universities already contacted you or reached out, and they expressed their interest to our state college. So, next question. So, what can we expect in terms of international mobility for the upcoming years in DNS?
Okay, I actually have 4 answers to it's not 4 categories for that question. So first, I would highlight exchange students or exchange mobility, exchange programs. So right now we are currently adding more courses to the accreditation, to our immigration, just like what I said before. So with that, we will be having more courses that are accredited. So we're expecting more in and out students, inbound and outbound students for our exchange programs. And this will give the chance to other courses to have an experience and learn on an international platform. And that's both for faculty and for the students. And for the faculty exchange, this year we have an upcoming faculty exchange, actually here in August. It will start August to September. Together with the Business University. And one in the October, so in partnership also with Business University. So in the upcoming years, we're mandated. We actually have a talk with our president. So we will be strengthening the mobility programs by the coming years. So we will be creating more programs and more collaborations for our faculty exchange. And next would be the cultural exchange. So right now, the international office is creating more cultural trips and more cultural programs, and we are advertising it to our partner institutions and universities. So as I remember, we had a visitors back in December for our cultural trip, and then right now we're crafting for another one this year. So we are conducting a series of meetings and talks with the should I say our UTM University in Malaysia. So we are still on the process of making the detailed plan or the detailed program for that. So we are expecting more numbers. On December, we have 15 students plus faculties. So right now we're expecting 20 students plus faculty. So we can see the progress and the number is increasing. So we should be more prepared for it. And so we expect that in the coming years, we will be also having inbound students in greater numbers. And for the online learnings, so one thing that we practiced in the international office since the pandemic is the online learning or online platform. Right now, we have an upcoming quill. So it's a collaborative online international learning together with our partner university in Indonesia. So, and we just also finished, I would just like to share, we just also finished another virtual program. I think that was last month. So we are expecting more of this in the future, and we are hoping that since we have some of the countries still have travel restrictions, so we are making sure that we are still connecting the students in an international arena, even though we have those restrictions. So we will be also conducting more of the online platform in the coming years.
Wow, those are really great milestones here in the internationalization office, and those are evidences that we are really active and we participate in cultural exchange programs, even in online, in the online platform. No, we offer that to both our students, to our faculty and staff, as well as to our other partner universities. So this is our last question, Ma'am Jade. Based on your experience, what advice would you give to faculty and staff members who are considering, who consider to participate in a cultural or faculty exchange program? And how can they make the most of the experience and maximize the benefits for themselves and their institution?
That's actually a good question, because here at the international office, we're making sure that there's available collaborations or available programs for our students and staff. So my advice is to, because some of the faculties, I believe they may be hesitant, or some of the students may be scared of those programs, because imagine it would be if it's going abroad, right? Going abroad or meeting new people, and some of them might be confused of the process. So I would say that if there's a chance for this, just go for it, because that's what I also did when I was an exchange student. So if there's an opportunity, maybe you're hesitant, but just go for it and maybe grab that opportunity. And also for them, while they're on that program, is to really dive into the culture, enjoy the cultural trips, enjoy the learning, and enjoy everything, and make the most of it, and make lots of good memories, make lots of friends and connections.
Connections.
Yes, so that would be my advice.
I agree with that, Ma'am Jade. No, you should really take the risk, especially that DNSC's internationalization office offers a lot of opportunity, not only for the students, but also for the faculty and staff. So grab the chance. No? Some of the activities or some of the programs, we usually offer it to them. No? We contact them, but they can also contact us if they are interested to join and participate in the international programs that we can offer. So thank you so much, Ma'am Jade, for saying yes to our endeavor and for giving your time today. Now, may we ask you to leave a message to our listeners and viewers?
Thank you, Sir Jun. First of all, it was my pleasure being here as one of your guests for this series of Lunsaran. And it was a pleasure sharing my journey as an international mobility officer of the DNSC. And hopefully we can connect more students, more faculty, more activities in the global arena. And so we can embrace change and we can embrace the world.
Wow, it's like Miss Universe. Thank you again, Ma'am Jade. Truly, the process of mobilizing internationalization in any educational institution is challenging yet fun. From creating collaborations down to enabling students and faculty experience internationalization, Ma'am Jade's progress and continued efforts truly is inspiring to manifest and achieve the mission and vision of the office here in the DNSC. The Internationalization Initiatives and External Affairs Office will aspire to bring the world to our dear DNSC. But that mission is continually delivered by the community. And we hope to provide more opportunities for our students and faculty. I am June, and you are in Lunsaran. See you in the next episode.